Helping children master self-control, the golden key to a bright future. Dear parents, have you ever felt a bit frustrated when your child blurts out inappropriate words, acts impulsively without thinking, or overreacts emotionally? These are very common concerns among parents. We all want our children to think before speaking, consider before acting, right? All these behaviors relate to a crucial skill that psychologists refer to as self-regulation or impulse control. In today's discussion, we'll explore what self-regulation really means, why it's so important for your child's development and future success, and most importantly, practical ways you can help your child build this valuable skill right at home. We'll go through 3 main parts: understanding what self-regulation is, why it matters, and tips parents can use to help children practice it effectively. What is self-regulation, really? Let's begin by clarifying this concept. Self-regulation, or impulse control, is the ability to manage and control spontaneous urges or internal impulses. In adults, a lack of self-control can lead to behaviors like impulsive shopping or overindulgence at social gatherings. For children, this manifests more clearly as outbursts of anger, aggression when upset, or a lack of patience, such as interrupting others or cutting in line. When children struggle to control these sudden impulses, they're more likely to act inappropriately, sometimes harming themselves or affecting their relationships with peers and family. This lack of self-control also negatively impacts their learning, daily routines, and social life. Interestingly, research shows that boys often have more difficulty with impulse control than girls. This might be because society tends to expect more calmness and self-restraint from girls. There's also an evolutionary theory suggesting that females may have developed stronger self-regulation skills to support child rearing, which demands patience and long-term investment. On the flip side, a child who can regulate themselves is better able to stay focused on a goal without getting easily distracted. For example, they might be determined to tidy up their room, even with the TV on or siblings playing loudly nearby. That's the power of self-discipline. Why do children need self-control? Now that we understand what self-regulation is, many parents may be wondering, why is this skill so important? In fact, the ability to self-regulate deeply affects a child's future. One famous study, known as the Dunedin study, involved a simple experiment with 3 to 4-year-olds. Children were given a choice: eat 1 marshmallow right away, or wait a little while and get 2 marshmallows. The long-term results were astonishing. Those who waited tended to achieve higher academic performance later on. This and many other studies have confirmed that early self-regulation is one of the strongest predictors of future success, not only in academics and career but also in social relationships. Even more concerning, other research shows a connection between poor self-control and higher risks of engaging in problematic behaviors later in life. What's striking is that the impact of self-control is not dependent on a child's intelligence or family background. Even intelligent children from well-off families can face major life challenges if they lack self-regulation. Clearly, this is a fundamental life skill. What can parents do to teach self-control? This might be the part parents are most eager to hear. How can we, as parents, support our children in developing self-control? First, it's important to know that impulse control tends to remain relatively stable over time. A child who struggles with it when young will likely continue to face challenges later. This is partly influenced by genetics and innate temperament. To go a bit deeper, let's talk about the brain. The area right behind our forehead, the prefrontal cortex, is the control center for managing impulses. It helps us plan, prioritize, and ignore distractions. Interestingly, this part of the brain is one of the last to fully mature. In girls, it might be fully developed in their early 20s, while in boys, it can take until their late 20s. But here's the good news. This long development window gives us plenty of time to guide and support our children in strengthening this skill. The earlier we start, the better. Here are a few practical strategies you can apply. Teach your child to delay gratification. A fun way to do this is by recreating the marshmallow experiment. Create situations where your child gets a better reward if they wait or make a bit more effort. For example, if your child wants chocolate, you could say, "You can have a small piece now." Or if you wait 5 more minutes, "I'll give you a bigger one." Start with short wait times, and gradually increase them as your child gets used to it. This helps them practice resisting immediate desires for greater long-term rewards. Help your child understand cause and effect. Another effective method is to help your child connect actions with consequences. When reading books or telling stories, go beyond just reading. Ask open-ended questions about the plot, the characters' thoughts and emotions. Encourage your child to predict what might happen next. This trains them to think about outcomes before acting. Just as important, help them see how their actions affect others' emotions. Sometimes, children need direct guidance to understand that, when you did that, your friend felt sad, angry. Be consistent and follow through. Lastly, but crucially, be consistent in your responses. If your child interrupts others and immediately gets the attention they want, they're more likely to repeat that behavior. But if you firmly ask them to wait their turn every time, the interrupting will gradually decrease. When consequences, positive or negative, are consistent, children learn to adjust their behavior accordingly. Your consistency and ability to keep promises or uphold rules are key to building long-term self-regulation. Final thoughts. As you can see, self-regulation is not just an isolated skill, it's the foundation for many crucial aspects of a child's life. From relationships and career to family life and overall happiness. That's why investing time and effort into helping your child develop this ability is so worthwhile. Remember, this process takes patience, because, as we've discussed, the brain areas involved need time to mature. Don't worry if your child doesn't master it right away. What truly matters is your consistency, your loving support, and the specific guidance you give to help your child respond more thoughtfully to their emotions and impulses. And if you ever feel that your child is struggling significantly with self-control, don't hesitate to seek help from pediatricians or child psychologists. Professional support is always available for families who need it. Wishing you and your children many meaningful moments together on the journey of growing up.